Hey folks, Lemonade here, and today we're just going to do a fun little relaxed video, a look into the pads that I use most so far in 2023, but we'll get into all those right after this.
It's great.
Okay, so just so everyone's aware, of course I have a full review of all of the pads on my channel, so I'm not going to go into every single detail, but of course you can check the links down in the description if any of these interest you. And I may have an affiliate code down there for a couple of them that can save you a few bucks. Now here is the full lineup. Of course you saw the TJX Cerapad kin at the start of the video, and we have the X10 Control up here, two different ones, we'll get into that. The Zero in mid, a Raiden in Xsoft, and the Infinity Mice control pad. Now the main reason that I picked all of these pads is because they strike a balance of speed and control, of texture and feel, kind of my yin and yang combos, if you will. By the way, I'm not going to really discuss value or price in this video. You can decide yourself if these are worth it or not. Of course, I use these the most, so they're clearly worth it to me. Now, you know I get a ton of different pads in the office, and frankly speaking, most of them are pretty solid, but just because it's not on my go-to list here doesn't mean it's a bad pad. It's just unrealistic for me to love everything for my personal use. And we're going to kick it off with the two pads that I use most often, and that is, of course, the Cerapad kit and the X10 Control. They really epitomize nearly perfect pads for me. If we look at the Cerapad kit here, it truly is the best class pad in my eyes. It has the lifetime durability, easy cleaning, and rigidness of other glass pads that provide consistency, but what really sets this one apart is the ceramic coating on the surface. It's very comfortable on my skin. It has the least amount of issues with humidity buildup. Not only that, the ceramic coating provides just the proper peppering of friction all over the surface to help with that consistency. And especially with the trend of ultra lightweight mice these days, this keeps the pure speed of glass pads a little bit more tame. And frankly, that just makes for a more versatile pad for more games. It's easier to adapt for more people. Plus, they have an insane array of sizes and colors and even free customizations that you can add onto the pad. I cannot recommend this one enough. And now we have my first true love, the X10 Control. Fans of my channel know how much I adore this pad and Xten as a company. Funny enough, Xten was actually the first company to ever send me products very early into my channel's history. And even after maybe 50, 60 different pads that I've tried since then, this one just always feels like home. And for good reason. It just kind of hits that amount of dynamic and static friction just right. The surface isn't too smooth or too abrasive. It has a nice medium kind of firmness and softness to it. The packaging is like no other. It's made in Japan and extremely well, I may add, with nearly a year of use across both these pads here. They just look and perform like day one. It really is kind of like the cloth version of the Cerapad can in terms of its kind of speed characteristics. And it's just versatile in pretty much any game. And just so I can address it now, because I said I would make a video and never did, the yellow version is not something that you can actively buy, unfortunately. This was a birthday present from Xten. Originally, I just reached out to see if I could purchase one in yellow for myself, like a little birthday gift, and to see if it was even possible. And they were kind enough not only to do it for free, but add my logo here and my name and logo on the packaging, which were just surprises I wasn't expecting. Luckily though, after speaking with them quite often and them even reaching out to the community on Twitter and doing a poll, we should be seeing a few more color options beyond the just black version that we see here. And that leads me to another Japanese brand, the famous Artisan. Of course, they really need no introduction. They are the #1 pick by enthusiasts for cloth pads for a reason. I even did a video as to why. You can check that out here if you want to learn more. But my new personal favorites from this brand are the Zero in mid and the Raiden in Xsoft. And I do say new because I did originally pick the Hate Ku as my favorite pad of 2022, but as of late, I've just been putting a lot more time into these two. Now, these two are really kind of the complete opposite end of the Artisan scale, the slowest and fastest pad, but the way I configured them kind of gives a similar end result. See, the Zero is a pad with higher static friction and dynamic friction, you know, when you compare it to the Coup, but with the mid pour on, the feeling is just very consistent and unchanging no matter the speed or the tension of your swipes. And in terms of the rate-in, it has the lowest static friction and dynamic friction of Artisan's lineup, but the X soft base kind of allows you to counteract that and bring some stability back. On top of that, both the pads are really just non-abrasive and very comfortable to use. My X10 is closest to the Zero from a kind of surface friction standpoint, but I do prefer the mid pour-on base on Artisan. Honestly speaking, if I could just take the mid of the Artisan and slap it on my X10, it'd pretty much be a wrap for me. And last but not least, the newest pad of them all, the Finalmouse Control. It is the most controlled out of all of them and also the most affordable of the lineup, but it stands toe-to-toe with these brands. It has great stitching, a unique base solution, and fantastic packaging. I also like that Finalmouse really just gave us a true and real control pad, something that isn't another Zero or Saturn clone in terms of speed. It gives you more static and dynamic friction, but it keeps it in line without feeling overly muddy. This pad pairs so well with mice that are ultra low weight like the HSK or Finalmouse series, and the surface texture is just damn comfortable and satisfying to drag your arm across. It's easily my #1 pick for comfort. And it's really the only pro level pad, and by pro I mean in terms of the stitching and base quality, that's actually a real control pad. Finalmouse could have easily charged 50 or 60 bucks for this pad and all the other pads in their lineup, so big respect to them for keeping it fair for the community. If control isn't your cup of tea, they have 3 other pads that are faster and absolutely fantastic choices as well. And on that note, folks, all my socials are down below, along with affiliate links for the brands that I trust and use on a daily basis. You can use code LEMONADE for Finalmouse and the TJX Cerapad to save a few bucks, or code UpgradeLemonade to sign up with our partner Surfshark to get an extra 3 months free and up your security with the 4 different ways they protect your computer and identity. If you had a good time with me today, likes and subs are always appreciated. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on these pads and let me know your favorites. But until the next Fresh Squeeze video, stay thirsty, folks.